Podcast where you break down the biggest moments, hottest takes, and the wildest stories from the world of pro wrestling. Whether you're a diehard fan or just stepping into the squared circle, we're here to give you the real scoop on everything happening in the ring.
I'm your host, RJD, and we're about to take a ride through the latest and greatest in pro wrestling. Get ready for all our hot takes, deep dives, and all the wrestling you never knew you needed.
Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button and join What the Wrestling family so you never miss an episode. Now let's step into the ring.
You're listening to the What the Wrestling Podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host.
Oh, you already know what time it is. Monday Night Raw, everybody. Monday Night Raw. We are back for Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Yes, I know it was SmackDown. It was long. It was boring. We ain't going to talk about that. We're here for Raw. We'll be talking about SmackDown again this week, but we had to get some other stuff. Still a little under the weather, but we are going to keep the ball rolling and we are going to do what we do. But you already know what time it is. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go. Yes, is I, RJD here. Well, welcome to What the Wrestling, the show that brings you all things wrestling. Listen, y'all. All right, I know it's rough. I'm still under the weather. We're still trying to work it out. We're still trying to do what we got to do. Okay, it's hard. So y'all gonna have to bear with me. All right, gonna have to bear with me. But first things first, please hit the like button. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel What the Wrestling on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Rolling across the bottom of your screen. Shout out to everybody hitting the like button. Got a few new subscribers over the weekend. We're going to continue to put out the shorts. We're going to continue to put out the content every week. We're going to continue to put out this good stuff. It's the TikTok was jumping the other day. So listen, whether it's 6, 16, 60, 600, 600,000 subscribers, I'm cool and I rock with each and every one of you. So thank you. I appreciate it. More updates. There will be a AEW review this week. We'll put up some more shorts. So stay tuned for that. And have not quite worked out the kinks on merch, but looking into that. So I got people helping me on that. And we are going to make sure we keep the ball rolling. So with that being said, Monday Night Raw, Netflix. Now listen, ever since Triple H has taken over, Monday Night Raw has been absolutely on point. We got a lot of great things happening on Raw, and I ain't mad at it. We got good stuff happening on Raw. SmackDown is good, but SmackDown's too goddamn long, so we don't want no parts of that. But this is all right. You know, this Monday Night Raw is all right. And as long as they keep us entertained, keep everything smooth, for this Netflix era, you will not hear any complaints out of me. No, you will not, right?
Nope.
So, first things first, I want to talk about El Penta Cero Miedo Puta. Let's talk about Penta. So, Penta, and I know we didn't start, this was the first wrestling match. I know, all right? I know. I want to talk about Penta first. So, Penta came out and had a superstar entrance, got the pyro, got the Cero Miedo, the crowd knew who he was, and he got a promo after. Which was crazy because he was up there. I didn't know he knew that much English, so I thought he really didn't speak English at all, but he knows a little bit of English enough, and he spoke in Spanish, and he got the superstar treatment. And they gave him a promo after the fact, which I didn't think was going to happen. So, first things first, this is the best thing that they could do. Tony Khan doesn't want to play with Penta anymore. Tony Khan doesn't want to use Penta the way he's supposed to be used. Listen, Penta and Phoenix had a good run over there, but when they needed somebody to have a match, they could call upon Penta or Phoenix for that matter. But obviously they're brothers, so they did the tag team thing. Were tag team champions, had one of the best AEW matches in that damn cage with the Bucks. So you're not gonna sit up here and say that Tony Khan just didn't use him. Nah, that's cap. That's bullshit. He did use him.
Nope.
But the problem is, it's like once Tony Khan is done with you, you go back into the closet like Malachi Black. You go back into the closet and you stay there, and he don't want to play with you anymore. So listen, they tacked on time to Phoenix, so we'll see him coming in. But this is the best thing for people that they may want to take from AEW. To mention some names, we got Wardlow, we got Ricky Starks. Who wouldn't want Ricky Starks? You can't do nothing with that guy. Who wouldn't want Wardlow? Wardlow will fit right into WWE, and Wardlow is a big guy who's athletic as hell. And you don't think he would get over like he got over? And he can talk. Listen, Wardlow would get over there. He'd do well. I'm trying to think of who else. There's a couple of people who would do well, but those two people come to mind. Phoenix would go over there, and Phoenix would do crazy well over there. So my thing is, as long as they treat Penta nice and they don't have him wrestling the other lucha people every 2 seconds, they don't have him wrestling Los Lotharios, they don't have him wrestling Humberto and Rey Mysterio and Carlito and Legado del Fantasma, and we just gonna keep you over there. You're gonna wrestle them every day, every Monday for the next 5 years. You're gonna wrestle just those guys. No, as long as they put him in something meaningful and they do what they need to do, they treat him nice, that's gonna entice other people to come to AEW, to come to WWE, because they're gonna treat this as a business. They're gonna treat this like it's supposed to be treated. They had merch up for this brother before he even debuted. They had the merch up. Do you know how much money he is going to make for this company? They already had the gloves. They have the mask. They already have all the Penta stuff up already. This brother is so charismatic. I remember the first time I saw Penta, believe it or not, I didn't watch Lucha Underground or anything like that. So the first time I saw Penta was when he fought Kenny Omega at All Out. All in. All out. All out. But when he fought Penta, I was like, who the hell is this guy? And I was like, Cero Miedo. Oh, okay, no fear, got it. But listen, and they had themselves a killer match. But Penta's style, his charisma, he's just naturally charismatic. He comes through with the glove. His style is just on point. And the thing with Penta is he can go. Penta can go. You need that brother to go out there and just go 1,000,000 miles a minute. Excuse me. He can do that. And the thing is, AEW, that's like the style for AEW. you gotta, not you have to, but a lot of those guys, they go, wrestle, and a lot of people love that style. But then the WWE really is a different style. Like if you go watch Daniel Bryan and then watch Bryan Danielson, they're two different, but the best wrestlers, they can curtail their style to fit the system. And I think Penta is going to have to do that. Now, about the match, it was a good match, but it was a little clunky, and I think I heard Ryan Alvarez said that the ropes are a little different. So he's going to have to, work on the ropes, and I guess the bounce off the rope is different. So that's okay. Listen, from what they gave him, and hold on, stop the show. I heard there were people backstage. People backstage were salty because he went a little long and he was long-winded on his promo. Listen, I hope people backstage ain't hating. I hope they ain't hating, because that was suck. Don't hate. I hope that's not true. Now listen, if you're irritated because your joint got cut short because Penta went a minute over or a minute and a half over, okay, we understand that. It's his first night. He will get acclimated. Everybody has to work out the kinks eventually. You're not just gonna come in and everything's gonna be perfect. Because I guarantee you, those people who are complaining, when they first went into a new company or a new situation, they had to iron out some things too. It happens. So hopefully people are not over there hating because Penta got some spotlight. Penta's a big deal, and he's a good wrestler, and sky's the limit for him there. Let's see how far Triple H can take him. And if Triple H could take him far, the crowd's gonna, first of all, Scared Miedo, you coming in with a catchphrase, crowd's gonna be all over it. So let's just see what Triple H does and how far he can take it. And God help you when Phoenix comes in there and Phoenix lights up. Like, the thing I worry about with Phoenix is that, like, Phoenix is like all gas, no brakes. And they go, I wonder if they're gonna tell Phoenix, slow it down a little bit. But all of those guys are professionals. All of those guys have been wrestling forever. Chad Gable was a good first opponent. I want to see him against as many people as I can see him against. I love the contrast of styles. I love the contrast of styles, and I love to see how people match up with each other. But this is a good look for Penta, a good look for Triple H, a good look for people that's going to leave AEW and come over to WWE. It's a good look for everybody. So they had themselves a good match. We had a Canadian destroyer, which they don't let a lot of people do. And at the end of the day, he won with the Penta driver. They were calling him one of the second best luchadors of all time. But listen, I don't know about all that. But he's a very good luchador, and it was a good match. And Penta got the victory, and he got to talk his ish. Superstar entrance. I have high hopes for Penta in WWE. Good start. But we had Punk come out there, and basically Punk came out there, Rollins interrupted him, Drew interrupted both of them and said, you're going to be in the Royal Rumble, Punk. Seth Rollins said, listen, I'm going to take this away from you, and I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. And then Drew McIntyre said, you said you were going to stop this. You said everything was going to be all right, and you were going to stop Roman. And next thing you know, you didn't stop crap. And he's like, Punk is like, man, if you don't leave me alone, he's like, man, I ain't even talking to you. I'm talking to Seth. And I was like, oh, man, shout out to Drew McIntyre. It's like Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and Punk. Like, there's genuine feelings there, negative feelings, and it's like they just bring out the best in each other, all of them. It's awesome. Shout out to those brothers making turning real life I don't like you energy into business and making us the fans care, because in the Royal Rumble, Seth is gonna take Punk out, or Drew's gonna take. Like, that's going to come into play. We know that's going to come into play. There's so many stories right now in the Royal Rumble. And that to me is when you get the best Royal Rumbles, is when you have a lot of stories within the story. You got Cena going for his title run. Is he gonna get it? You got Punk, missed last year Mania. Now what we got going on this year? We got Drew. He just hates Roman Reigns, and he's like, we gotta stop Roman. Seth, who hates Punk, and Punk beat him, gave him a nice little cookie, and now he is trying to take everything away from Punk. So we got stories built into this thing. Easy work. So I'm looking forward to that. That was basically how it started. Then we had Penta. Then we had the Judgment Day. Listen. Dom was like, Liv, are you mad at me? He gave him some roses. He gave us some roses, and everybody was like passing the roses around. Liv was like, I'm not mad. Just go get my bags. And looks like Dom is going to be the butt of all the jokes coming in soon. But I don't like the Judgment Day's chances. I foresee this group breaking up in the near future. So we also had Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser with a banger after banger after banger. They had themselves a good match. And Sheamus confronted the Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker, who is seated ringside. So we haven't seen Braun Breaker in a little while. So good to see Braun. Sheamus, I want to see him get that IC title at Mania, so he could complete the trifecta, because Sheamus is a beast out there. But him and Braun Breaker, they're gonna beat the piss out of each other, and the young Bulls gonna bring it. We also had Mr. Uso, Mr. Yeet himself, Jey Uso. Well, Gunther was out there, and Jey Uso came out to challenge him, and he told Gunther told Jey, "You are a very, very good tag team wrestler." And he was like, "Listen, everything you've done on your own, you haven't done nothing on your own. You're not good enough." And he's already beaten him twice. So let's see. I don't like Jay's chances. I'm not gonna lie to you. Getting that world title, I don't like it. But at the end of the day, he said he's betting on himself every day, and he would beat Gunther to become the world heavyweight title, to become the world heavyweight champion. I'm not so sure, but I guess we'll see. But at the end of the day, I don't see it. Then we got the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Lyra Valkyria versus Dakota Kai. Lyra won with the Nightwing. The crowd eventually did get behind this. Shout out to Dakota Kai. She's always been very good. Shout out to Lyra. Lyra was good in NXT. She was putting on good matches from what I was watching in NXT. It's just nobody was like, it's like the crowd didn't get behind her. She wasn't over yet, but I mean, she was putting on good matches. And it's good to see some fresh faces up there. Lyra Valkyria. Who knows if she's going to hold on to the title and somebody else can come in and help her get over. But I like this. I like Lyra. Lyra's good. Don't know how she is on the mic just yet, but I'm glad she got the dub. And the picture with Triple H. Shout out to her. The Miz was backstage talking to not Damian Priest. What am I talking about? You stupid. Talking to Karrion Kross, but they just casually said the Wyatt Six is on SmackDown now. So, I mean, okay. Thanks for letting us know, I guess. And Sami Zayn was going to talk to Pierce, but they started talking junk. So he said, you know what? My business can wait. I'll fight you tonight. And Sami Zayn beats The Miz after a Blue Thunder Bomb. So I like when he wins with the Blue Thunder Bomb. Him and Takeshita have a pretty Blue Thunder Bomb. So Sami Zayn getting a win on this show. And then Nia Jax confronted Rhea Ripley during the promo that Rhea Ripley had when she was out there. She came out there and complained. Jax claimed that she is still at the pinnacle of the division, while also calling out Bayley, BBL Bayley, who was seated in the crowd. In the end, Ripley and Bayley teamed up, knocked Jax out of the ring, and who knows if something's going to go on there. Rhea Ripley needs challengers, so maybe it'll be Charlotte that comes back, wins the Royal Rumble, and then beats her at Mania again. So I don't know. We'll see. But Damian Priest versus Finn Balor in a street fight. After a broken arrow from the crowds through several tables, that was a scary spot right there. They had themselves a good old-fashioned street fight. And in the end, Damian Priest finally beats Finn Balor, and we hope that this is it. And they're done. We hope. So we shall see. But this was a good match. Back and forth, kendo sticks and chairs and tables and all the other good stuff. We had Carlito and everybody else run out. Carlito and JD came out. The match continued with 7 more big moves after they were dispersed of. And Priest hit the South of Heaven saying, "I am not my brother's keeper," with his deep ass voice. And then he gave him the choke slam, and that was all she wrote. Shout out to Finn Balor. Beat him. He done. Beat him. Shout out to Finn Balor, man. Finn Balor is like that constant. Hey, Finn Balor's dope, yo. Damian Priest, what can I say about this guy? That stuff with Gunther is really gotten him over. Hopefully, now we could be done with the freaking Judgment Day, and he can move on to something else, to fight with some other people, and we could get him in maybe a mid-card title or the world title with Gunther again. So I want to see that. I don't want to see him fighting Judgment Day no more. How many more times can we blow this off? Hopefully this is the last one, and we'll be done with that. But all in all, another good show, another good start to the Netflix era. Obviously, this show wasn't loaded and stacked, and it didn't feel like a PLE like the first one did, but that's okay. All it needs to do is be a good show, and it is. It is a good show. So at the end of the day, I ain't mad at it. This was a good show, and I'm looking forward to next week. We have the 25th is Saturday night's main event. We already have some stuff lined up for that card. We got Jay and Gunther for that card. We have another match too lined up for that show. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. And then, February, I think the first week of February, we got the Rumble. So if not the first or second week of February, something like that, we got the Rumble. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Like I said, let's see what AEW got in store for us tomorrow, and we will keep the ball rolling. So with that being said, that's all I got for y'all. That's it. It's over. You know what that means? That means I'm out, Jack. Everybody be safe out there. We will catch you on the next one. Peace.